Daily Telegraph NRL Podcast time, and last one left in the building. Turn the lights off. Hey, it's almost Vegas time. It's Fiji trials time. It's World Club Challenge time, and Michael Carianis, you and I stuck here in Sydney.
I know, that's the way. The Buzz is here for a couple more days before he flies out. But next week, I don't know. What's going to happen next week?
I'll tell you what's going to happen next week. Let me butt in.
Okay, sorry.
G'day, viewers and listeners. I'm taking my podcast global.
You are?
I'm going to get the tech heads together, myself,
The what
Rudy
heads?
and Riccio. Yeah.
It's that Kiwi accent.
Oh, so no podcast for us?
Well, I don't know, but this is my podcast and I am taking it to Vegas. I'm determined
When
to
are you
do
leaving,
it.
Buzzy? What's your plan when you get over there? Are you going to see the sights, go see the Sphere?
Well, you know
What's
what?
happening?
I'm on a plane direct. Leave here next Tuesday at 11:30 and it arrives Tuesday morning in Vegas. I like to find my feet in a city like Vegas and ease into, the build-up to the game. You know what Reedy's done? He's booked a restaurant for Tuesday night.
Which one? Do you know what it is?
Gallagher's.
Oh, yeah. That's the steak. Is that the steak joint?
When I covered Merriweather, how long? I think
no,
it was
that was a different
2017. I went with Reedy.
Oh, yeah.
The steak was, you could cut it with a teaspoon.
Yeah.
It was sensational. No jungle chicken curry, Mobbsy, but great steak. Mate, he won't let me settle in. I'll be jet.
Well, that's the best way to do it.
Oh,
If
it is not.
No, the worst thing to do is stay in your room. The first day you get in. What time do you arrive?
I've been touring.
Since 1908. What time? What time?
Your first tour was the Endeavour.
You weren't thought of when I started. Please, I'll listen to you on football, but don't tell me how to tour. Give me a break.
The worst thing you can do is stay in your room once you arrive at a place.
What if I'm tired and I need a snooze?
What time are you arriving?
7 a.m.
Yeah, get out of your room.
Oh, no.
Stay out all day and then have an early night.
I don't mind a bit of gibber on my podcast.
Is there a certain heavy hitter from the ARLC who's trying to bump up your and their seats on this direct flight to Vegas?
I'm travelling premium economy.
That's pretty good.
It's great. And it's direct flight, no via
so
LA.
There's no opportunity for an upgrade. Is that what
I
you're saying?
have made a discreet inquiry.
Yes.
The possibility of an upgrade if there are empty seats.
Okay.
And I've even offered to pay for it.
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
I've heard he's demanded he have a seat further up than the co-pilot.
There's no premium economy. It was pretty good.
But I'll be thinking of you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be
when I'm at Gallagher's with Reedy. And my great friend from our opponent, Andrew Webster, will be joining us.
Yes.
And Webby
I just did Vegas with Webby in December.
Oh, he's so good fun.
He's good fun.
A little bit MAD, but fun. So what's doing in the footy?
Well, talking about MAD, so what about Jason Demetriou, and no love lost between him and Anthony Seibold. So Seibs took a little crack at South about it'd be nice if they were in Vegas to promote the game. Manly, for those who aren't across all the logistics, and if you're not travelling like Buzz, you're probably not as yet. Manly are the only club who have gone straight to Vegas. The Roosters and Broncos, they'll base themselves in LA, in different places there. And South have lobbed down at San Diego, where they're training and there for a few days, and they will head in there next week.
With the great Dave Riccio.
David Riccio on
San
deck.
Diego, yeah.
He's gone from
family Disneyland.
Yeah, the Griswold's family vacation with his family to put them on the flight home, and he's headed down to San Diego. So headed from LA to San Diego in a torrential storm the other day too. Yeah, driving opposite side of the road. He's survived, so he's there and on the ground. But what do you make of this?
Shy man. What do I make of what?
What do you make of this?
What do you make of Seibold having a crack at Demetriou around South not being there? Because we all know, Buzz, that there was a lot of running around at one point to try and find appropriate grass fields suitable for training in the lead up to it as well.
But correct, it was a lighthearted, tongue-in-cheek comment. Correct
from
Seibold. It wasn't. Look,
But why say
they can't? Yeah, but they can't all go to Vegas. There's no facility.
Yeah, they can't all go to Vegas. No, of course they can't.
So
no, of course.
Manly got him first and got the facility. And the other clubs will get there in time and will promote the game. And there's journalists following them all around America, and they're different Aussies in Los Angeles and look. It could be seen as a cheap shot, but I thought it was tongue-in-cheek. What do you think?
I don't think it was a cheap shot. It was just a little crack. I love it. I think it's great, right? There's no bad... Like, these two don't like each other, right? It stems from the Broncos job all those years ago where, they had coaching records presented on big screens and the like, and they went at it, and then the following year, I think JD, when he was an assistant coach at South Sydney, went at it with Anthony Seibold. Anthony Seibold basically said, mate, you're an assistant coach back in your box. And I don't think either of them have forgotten that. So there is
but that's good for rugby league.
I'm not complaining. I'm not
passion, mate.
I'm not complaining about it. I think it's great. And Jason Demetriou's fired back a little bit as well. Just that this was a slide crack back as well from Jason Demetriou. So I love it. It builds another layer to that rivalry, and good. It is a slight dig. It doesn't mean anything at all. Like as you said, Buzz, there's no way all four sides could have been at Vegas. They can't train. They were struggling to find fields, and basically in America were close enough to Vegas as they could.
But how boring would rugby league be without people like Anthony Seibold, who could probably see that it'll be stirred up into a little... And, we're talking about it.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Your Sunday sesh, you did the feuds this year. You didn't put these two in it?
Well, they sort of dropped off last year. They didn't
Will you put them back
into
next year when I'm again on extended leave?
I've already started the list.
Have you? Am I in it this
David
time?
Norfoluma v Benji is on the list.
Good one. Who have you had a blow up with?
Me?
You would have had one more.
I manage everyone else's blow up.
With the staff.
Seriously, you don't manage them at all. You're involved in a lot of combat.
No, I'm sweet at the moment.
I will insist that you find your way into that list this year.
Righto. Who do you want me to go after?
I have a new employment situation here at News Corp since semi-retiring.
Yes.
And I have a new contract where I don't get performance reviewed.
Oh, wow. So we can do it on here.
Oh, that's what I suggested.
I can give him a bit more lip now.
Buzz is off the leash.
I don't like the
fearing the consequences.
Buzz off the leash. That's a very dangerous place.
Yes, it is.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Should you do it on here, Buzz? Maybe you could do a performance review for Mobbsy now that...
Yeah.
You still have to do them, remember? You're not off the hook yet.
My last podcast this year will be a performance review of both of you.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. What do you make of... So this is a good little stink, and the bookies have got Souths as favourites for this. I thought Manly were... placed pretty well for this one, especially now Cody Walker, as Dave Riccio reported, training away from the main group, trying to get over that calf issue. He's no certainty to play at the moment. They're dropping like flies.
Campbell Graham out.
The backline stocks have been hit, although Jacob Gagai gets the nod. But again, you're talking about a 28-year-old, 28?
Jackie White. And
you know what? With this is a weird thing to say, right? But with all South Sydney's injuries, I think they benefit from that field being a little bit condensed. Because Tommy and those guys aren't going to have that space that they'd create, and those defensive guys, if they make an error on the edge defensively, it'll be easier to cover for it than it would be with that extra space. I know it's about 5 metres.
2.5 each side, but it makes...
It adds up in terms of when you're trying to get those speedy guys and Cooler and Saab on the outside of what's going to be an untried South Sydney edge. I think... I'm surprised South Sydney are favourites just because of all those changes and all those guys missing from the Rabbitoh side.
Yeah, Manly been well backed, 2 forward into 210, but they're too short, South. They really are with their preparation.
I'm tipping Manly.
And they beat at St George impressively last week, second half. But that first half, they didn't make one line break. And
but there was a lot missing.
Yeah, but there were a lot missing. That's footy, mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Not one line break and half of footy.
No Latrell, no Cody, no Cook.
Yeah, Cronulla didn't have halves either.
I don't know. I thought they were decent to beat an almost full-strength Dragons lineup.
Yeah.
South last week, I thought they put in a good showing.
So you're going to bag Flano now? You're going to change your wooden spoon tip, are you?
No.
They're your team, aren't they?
No, but I'm surprised anyone was surprised that they weren't great on the weekend.
St George.
Yeah.
You were very nice to them in your match report. They tried hard, St George Illawarra.
I think at the end of your St George stories, you need to disclaim.
Stop it.
I'm a tragic
No.
Red V.
No.
Did you ever? No,
I thought they were
aspiring board member.
I thought they were fine. The Dragons in the first half. I thought they were fine. I've got low expectations of what they're going to produce this year.
Yeah, but I thought it was a good achievement not to concede a line break when they had their best
defensively
side
they were good. Defensively they were good, but that South Sydney side is not anywhere near the side that they got. Particularly the back line is not going to be anywhere near what they put out at full strength. So I wouldn't get too excited if I'm the Dragons.
There was a little bit of positivity there.
I thought they were fine.
Yeah.
I thought they didn't create enough. Like if Sloane finishes a few opportunities, things change a little bit.
Yeah. I still, for the life of me, if Zac Lomax is a winger, I will retire now. He is not a wing three-quarter. And he is in the top two centres in that club.
Who's he going to flick past it to if he's on the wing?
Well, like he was doing before, the touchy.
Mate.
Oh, that's very harsh and very funny, though.
God, I hope he listens to this podcast.
I'm tipping he doesn't. But no, Zach
he is...
Zach on his day is elite, right? But
elite.
He is, but...
Well, I think St George should be picking their elite players. He's on 800k, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's no one's fault except for the old regime that signed him for that long and that crazy money, right?
I reckon he's got more to offer as a centre than Jack Bird.
Probably. But now that they've signed Luciano Leilua...
And Bird can play 5'8".
So you want Jack Bird to play 5'8"?
He can play it.
Well, he can play anywhere, basically, Jack Bird. But what's his... Unless he becomes the 14.
I think they're a stronger side with Lomax in the centres, Bird at 5'8". With Kyle Flanagan at 14.
Yeah, I think the conundrum...
And I shall ring Shane Flanagan with my idea.
And how
He's
receptive...
dirty on me. I've had my first blow-up.
Why did you do that?
I'm going to give my source up too because it's quite funny.
Okay.
Flano was driving into Cogra for the Junior League trials.
Mobbsy. Yeah.
Mobbsy, it's so interested in my story.
I've got David Riccio from San Diego's trying to make a quick change to some copy.
So anyway, I was talking to Mark Levy at TGB.
Yeah, you guys back on?
Never been off. I just criticised him when he was cheerleading Freddie.
Yeah.
So he said, I was just talking to Flano. He couldn't get into the car park. They didn't know who he was at Cogra, you know. I'm not a very good Levy impersonator.
You sound like you're impersonating yourself.
Oh, do I? Okay. Can you impersonate Levy?
No. Champion.
Hello, champion. Thanks for stopping by. Gal, enough,
Gal. Stop it. So anyway, Levy gave Flanagan up.
Yeah.
For the attendant not knowing who. So I publish it, right? There's a spot that Shane Flanagan rejected. It goes online at 6 o'clock. At 6:05, Flanagan's on the phone saying, that is rubbish. I said, blame one of your former 2GB colleagues. I gave him up.
Did he give you a strike?
Yeah, first warning.
He loves the warning.
Yeah. I was put on report. I said, mate, don't shoot the messenger. It was one of your... He was on the phone to Levy and said they won't let me in. And Levy gave him up. Rock solid.
So you're the... Well, I don't know if you'd be the second.
Levy in that blue down in Shell Harbour with Gal. Mate, he could have done better than stop it, Gal. Seriously.
He's a big boy, Levy. Would you be you might back him to get in and be able to make a difference in holding the Gal back.
Fight, right? But I wouldn't have any problems with Mark Levy. I wouldn't. Anyway, what about you, Mick?
What about Flano? Did you hear his crack at Brent Reid last year as well? When Reedy did a column saying if I was the Dragons, I'd be getting straight on the phone to Jerome Luai as looking for a new signing, and Reedy got a message the next morning. Leave the coaching to me. You stick to writing crap articles.
all good natured, but
Yeah.
all good natured,
was it?
good natured. Yeah.
It was very
I had
funny.
a beer with Flano at the New Kira Beach Hotel in the off-season. It was Saturday afternoon. There were a lot of Graham Eady was there, Larry Cora, Kevin. It was a really great day, and Flano, geez, he's good company. It'd be, it was a really good afternoon. Mick, you look interested too. You're on your phone too.
Yeah. I'm interested.
If my producer knew how to
Zoom in.
I'd give you both up.
Oh, you're a chipper.
That's what we're here for, Adam.
Oh, I want to ask, what do you think of Wayne Bennett missing out on the New Zealand coaching gig to Stacey Jones?
Well, I hope it works because it's good for international rugby league it's good for the Kiwis if they have a Kiwi coach, an icon of the game, leading them. I think it would have added some intrigue from our perspective if Wayne was coaching the Kiwis, v Mao and the like. But no, good on Stacey. He's been in and around there for a while now. There was a push for him to take over.
Yeah, I think, Mick, that Wayne is now a club person more than go in for a few weeks and technically get a side ready to play footy.
He didn't do it that long ago with Queensland.
Yeah, but he's 75, 74.
Yeah,
84, yeah.
And you know what?
It's not as grueling as an NRL season.
How interested was he, Did he fight that hard? Did he lobby? It was, someone had him going to Para this week and Jimmy Sarantino shot it down,
I had heard that when Bennett applied, they asked for him to submit a resume.
No, they didn't.
Did they?
No, they didn't.
Yes.
Serious?
Why?
Why can't they just Wikipedia?
They wanted everything to be above board.
NRL project.
But, reliably informed that...
He would have had an agent who would have done it for him.
Thanks for your
Wouldn't
interest.
George Mimas help Wayne?
Not sure, but if you think, if you wanted to hire Wayne, surely you just knock up the resume yourself.
But Stacey Jones, I'll tell you what, he is over there. He's like Thurston is in Townsville.
He's an icon, right?
He's Andrew Johns in Newcastle.
And it's
He
gonna
is
depend on
revered
his-
over there.
Yeah.
It's going to depend on his staff. Like Madge had Steve Price, and Steve Price, a great assistant coach.
Yeah.
Queensland have Josh Hannay, great assistant coach. Queensland had Cameron Smith, and so his team Jones will be important.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a reward for Stacey as well, too.
I like it.
As I said, it would have been cool for Bennett to have the gig because of the extra intrigue it would have created around the Kiwis and media interest and probably fans' interest a little bit. But I hope Stacey does well.
I'd rather see Wayne involved in the 18th team.
It's a long way away, Buzz.
Well,
I'm not saying as a coach, Mick, as the figurehead.
Well, this is what interests now because the Dolphins were hoping that if he'd got the New Zealand gig, that would sort of fill his desire for head coaching, and he'd have sort of an ambassador grandfather role at the Dolphins and remain there long term. So it's all up in the air now as to see what Wayne does. But
you know what? Sorry, go on.
No, you're right. Keep going.
Do you guys reckon he should be an immortal
Wayne?
eventually?
Probably, yeah.
Absolutely. Do you?
Yeah. You look...
And what I like about Peter Villans, I've said many times, there's an old and fast rule. This is just for champions of champions. But Wayne Bennett contribution to rugby league, I don't know anyone in my time, Mick, who has contributed more to the game.
Yeah.
914 first grade games.
Got to get you onto the voting panel.
Plus...
We'll do it. We'll go in partnership.
Let's do it. Plus, his playing career was decent. And
Australian winger.
yeah, and internationals and Origin and I don't think you could argue with it. Would Jack Gibson be the other one? But like, is that or not?
Jack Gibson would warrant consideration for sure.
Yeah.
With his 5 premierships and the man who brought a lot of America to was innovative from that sense and first man to ever do a tackle count. Do you know that? But there were no statistics back in the... No, there was used to have one of their directors sit in the coaching box with him and keep the tackle count. And we hadn't heard of stats then,
No Aaron Wally-Wallace in those days.
No.
Could you imagine?
It's a good point, Mick. The Immortals, and I know Bulldog's been writing about I'm a Ron Coote fan too.
Yeah, and now you're 5 years removed from some of the greats with Slater
Well, you know the
and
5-year
Thurston.
thing.
Yeah, Smith, Slater,
Well,
Thurston.
Smith's not 5 years, right? But I would
Yeah.
just induct him. I would just induct him.
Well,
He's
you
going to
know,
be an immortal. Cameron Smith
you
will be an
don't
immortal.
need 5 years to work out he's an immortal.
That's what I'm saying, but
Same with Slater. Same with Thurston.
yeah, I don't know. I've got Cam Smith ahead of all those guys.
I got all three. There's one bundle.
So I would just,
Ray Warren, mate, said Slater was a better player than Lang
yeah.
was. You know?
But I would just go bang Cam Smith. He's going to be an immortal. Why do we have to wait? Why do we have to delay
Well,
these
we've got to things?
things?
take the emotion out of it.
But there's no
a word
emotion.
for it.
There's no emotion.
There's called
He's-
recent. What's it called?
Recency bias. But there's none of.
Recency bias.
I'm only talking Cam Smith, right?
Sure.
Not Thurston, not Slater, because you could argue those guys, right? I don't think you can argue Cam Smith. So Cam Smith should be an immortal straight away.
It's really interesting because at one of the Immortals meetings 6 or 7 years ago, I was saying that about Lockyer. You know, everything he did, surely, you know, do we have to wait?
Yeah.
But that was a recency bias thing because I'm not so sure now about Lockie.
I'm the same. I'd have Cam ahead of all those guys.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone. I don't think there'd be very, 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 very few people who would argue that Cameron Smith should not be an immortal.
Why don't you write it? Start a campaign.
Didn't a great old journo once tell me, never start a campaign you're not confident you're going to win?
You have to win, Smith. It's a no-brainer.
Depends when.
There you go. There's
I
your
would do
story
it
for
now.
tomorrow.
Like I would
leave
have.
that
I
one
would
to you.
have no hesitation in inducting Cameron Smith as an immortal today. Would you guys blow up if it's not in the 5-year realm?
No.
You know, it's like the NFL, right? Is Tom Brady going to be in their Hall of Fame, whatever the case may be? Or just do it.
Can we
Why
get
do we
back
wait?
to my run sheet, please?
What do you have for us?
Well, I just
Right, it's not my run
just
sheet.
want to make
it's Adam's.
the point around Wayne Bennett. What would this year look like if at the end of the season Wayne Bennett and Craig Bellamy both step away from rugby league? That's almost 1,500 games between them. Two of the coaching greats, and what a hole would that leave in rugby league?
Obviously, you know, to a lesser extent, Tim Sheen's leaving last year, right? Obviously, he hadn't been coaching for a decade and then had a poor year last year. But you know, that's the vacuum of the top 3 capped coaches in history.
Yep.
Des is there in amongst it too.
Yeah, look, it would be a loss to rugby league, but this Cleary, who I wrote about last weekend, is doing stuff no other coach has ever done.
Yeah.
In the salary cap era, Trent Robinson is, you know, his record speaks for himself. There's some good footy coaches out there, Mobbsy, and, you know, everyone reaches the finish line at some stage.
Who's going to be the David Moyes to the Alex Ferguson down in Melbourne? Will it be Mark Brentnall? Will it be Jason Riles?
I think Jason Riles is near enough to rubber stamp, isn't he, Mick?
Yeah. If Billy Slater, I think if Billy Slater wanted the job, he'd have it.
Oh, of course he would. He doesn't want it, though.
Yeah.
Billy Slater is the most impressive man in rugby league, bar none.
He's pretty good.
Agree with that comment?
He's very, I love listening to him,
Well, I'm just thinking of the times we've tried to get him for this big sit-down piece we're trying to do. So until he signs off on that, my judgment's clouded. Continuing on the GOAT discussion, thoughts around Nathan Cleary, where he'll finish up when his season's over, when his career's over, because he kicks off this season trying to bookend it with the two things he hasn't won: a World Club Challenge and a Dally M. And Nathan spoke with Matt Incarnation over in Wigan for the World Club Challenge and said he would rather win more Origin Series than a Dally M medal, which I love that attitude. But he's no Dally M's to his name as yet. Thurston got 4, Joey got 4. 3 straight titles.
I just told him we're podcasting.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, should I answer this or
put him on loudspeaker?
Hold on.
You are interrupting my podcast, Reedy.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
We're live.
I sent you a text saying we're podcasting.
I know.
So can you ring Buzz? Can you ring Buzz next?
Yeah. Everything okay in Fiji?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
You're just on speaker, so don't say anything crazy.
Yeah, this is going live to our audience.
Okay. Oh, righty. Hello, audience. Keep up the petition to get me back, please.
What are you eating over there? Is there anything exciting for dinner?
The ratings skyrocketed when I was on, Buzz. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Can I tell you what's amazing over here very quickly? Mate, a coffee costs $13.50.
Really?
Whoa.
It's outrageous.
Will you claim that on expenses, though?
Well, per diem barely covers the coffee. Anyway, you've actually got a podcast.
See ya.
Thanks, Reedy.
I'll call you in half an hour.
I'll bring Russell Jackson. At least he'll come on.
We'll see. We'll watch him screen your call.
Bye-bye, Brent.
All right.
See you, Brent.
That's it, boys. Great chat.
Nathan
Tell you what, is
Cleary.
that kind of unprofessionalism tolerated at Triple M? That's
Not.
Encouraged
yeah. Nathan Cleary. Sorry, where were we?
What are your thoughts, Mick?
on how he's... I think he does definitely need to dominate at Origin level a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's hard. Like, he's tracking to be an all-time great, obviously. So
He is an all-time great already.
he probably is, yeah, they're right. You know, if he retired right now, Buzz, he'd be considered a great of the game. For sure.
Mate, he's
If he
won,
retired, I'm agreeing with you.
He's been the quarterback playmaker
Yeah.
for 3 straight titles.
Yes.
The year before that, he played in the grand final. He's doing it in the salary cap era where every team is reasonably close enough to being even.
Yeah.
That 17 minutes of
Yeah.
grand final blow you away brilliance
Greatest ever.
is,
The greatest ever 20-minute period in a game.
mate, he is Sterling, Stewart, Langer. I think Thurston Johns, I do. And I don't think I'm getting overly excited.
No, he's ahead of them all at the same stage
And
of their
he mightn't
careers.
have done what they did in Origin yet, but they didn't do what he did in the Premiership.
Yeah, fair point.
And
You
the scary part is this from his dad talking to Matt Incarnation this morning. He's far from the finished product. He knows that. Probably the obvious one is Origin. He knows what he wants to be more consistent. He knows he wants to be more consistent in that area. He's had some good moments, but other moments he knows he can step up there.
That's
or
a fair
prove.
summation.
I feel sorry for him. He's gone all the way to the UK, in Manchester, where his lovely partner Mary is, and she's off playing for the Matildas. What bad luck,
She's
eh?
in Uzbekistan, yeah. It was only a very... I reckon they got a little cuddle time. I think there was a small window before she headed into the Middle East.
How would you know?
Mate, listen.
Have you looked at both itineraries?
Yes,
Or you just,
I have.
Have you- so you've done your research?
I did the Fowler Cleary love diary a few months ago.
We
and
needed like a Taylor Swift
You know
someone
they-
tracking the plane, and
Do you know where
Travis
they-
Kelce tracking the plane.
He's
Do you
he's
know
headed
where
over
they
here,
met?
He's here now, apparently.
do you know what landmark they met at?
No.
I do. Lady Macquarie's chair.
Oh,
down
the
at-
Puma
on the
shoot.
harbour. The Adidas shoot.
Ah, there you go.
Moving.
That's where they first met.
Are you into Taylor Swift, Buzzy?
I had an opportunity to go on Monday, but I'm not going.
You brushed it.
Yeah. My missus is going with her sister instead
Wow.
of me. So I go to Vegas next day. The last thing I want is madness of getting home from that.
I'm heading out to
You
Olympic
go?
Park tomorrow. I'm going next door to Blink 182. So,
Are you a Swiftie?
I'd rather see Taylor Swift than Blink 182.
oh,
What is Blink 182?
It's like a
Is it
it's
band?
like a what?
punk rock. What
Yeah,
do
it's
they
a
call
punk
it?
rock
Yeah,
band.
Who
punk
you
rock.
go take there?
Hey,
Who do you
my lovely wife and I are going with a couple of friends. So, maybe getting looked after in a little suite. So.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're not selling out. With Taylor
He's
Swift's
already
on at the
paying
same time.
$13 for coffee and you're treating yourself to sweet.
And you're trying to get upgraded. I've just got
Yeah,
nothing.
right.
Oh, you didn't just go to Vegas recently?
No.
On the cruisiest junket that ever
I
was?
worked very hard, Adam.
Yes.
That was all time.
Speaking of working very hard, one last year of Jared Waerea-Hargreaves at the Roosters. He's announced that he's leaving. He's
Yeah.
3 games short of his 300th. He'll get that this year before he heads off to Hull KR for
Okay.
a 1-year deal.
So he's leaving Mossman.
How many games he played?
297 so far.
Yeah.
He's leaving Mossman to go live in Hull.
Well,
Who are all the people? Can I do a list
he's
of
had a lot of head knocks.
who have you insulted or laughed at today? Hull, the whole city of Hull.
Hull? Worst place I've been to.
Really?
Oh, yuck.
You sound like Luke Rooney.
Yeah.
You know, I once found a jar of Vegemite there. I was looking all over the north of England, found it in Hull, 1989. Crusher Cleo tipped me into it. He was playing with it.
Thoughts on Hull?
Not a great city. Look, this is a timely exit. Jared's been a wonderful player and clubman, but right now I could name you a lot of front rowers: Payne Haas, Flegler, Carrigan, Fisher Harris, Fanua Blake, Moses Leota, Lindsay Collins, Spencer Lainu, who are superior players to him now, and I don't like seeing players like Jared get overpowered by these, and I haven't even gone through the Welshes and the big Bromwich boys and Nelson the Sofa Solomonas. I just like to remember Jared as the most feared enforcer in the game.
Well, if they manage his minutes and everything, Buzz, I don't think they're suggesting that he's going to be trying to emulate the top props in the game at 35.
35, is he?
He's 35, so no one's expecting him to be... He's not at the peak of his powers, right? And for a front rower to get to 300 games, and potentially for a front rower to have the Roosters' all-time game record, since being the longest club, playing every season, that is remarkable in terms of longevity. I know he hasn't had a lot of injuries. He's obviously had a lot of suspensions and a lot of fines and the like, but I think it's a remarkable career for a guy that plays as tough as he does and has played big minutes at times throughout those stages to crack 300 plus games. I think it's a great career.
And Robbo's obviously big on culture, and it's what he brings off the field as well, considering he spends a lot of time off the field due to suspensions.
He's playing 300 games, mate.
Imagine how many games he would have played without those suspensions.
310.
He'd be up to Cam Smith areas. Okay, not that far. But so the Roosters, how big a year is this now, considering I think the stars are aligning for them? They're $9 third favourites for the title, which I think is crazy money, when at the end of the season you're losing Jared, Joseph Akuso-Swali'i, likely Joey Manu, Daniel Tupou's off contract, Angus Crichton, potentially Terrell May. Premiership window. This is a great opportunity this year.
Geez, you worry about the size of Nick's chequebook at the best of times, let alone with this money freed up, don't you?
Yeah, and the one that they weren't banking on is Joey Manu, right? So, they've already spent Jared's money on...
fullback, mate.
Yeah. But they've spent Jared's money on Spencer.
Yeah.
Right? Thinking that Jared had, at best, 12 months left.
Yeah.
The one they haven't replaced is Joey Manu, if he ends up going for a long-term deal.
Player like Zac Lomax might go looking over there if he keeps getting picked on the wing. And he's a very good player, mate. I rate him a lot higher than you do.
No, it's not that.
Well, I'm just trying to think who else could the Roosters target.
It's not that I don't rate him. But he just hasn't been consistent at all. And there's been layers to that, right? You look at the players around him and the club, the coaching and all that sort of stuff, right? No doubt. And I don't think he's happy playing on the wing.
No.
Well, and the Roosters will bring in Mark Nawonga-Nitawaze as well. So when Swali'i goes, he'll come in. Billy Smith's there. We're kind of wondering where they're going to fit all these backs in for this season anyway, but injuries have sort of forced their hand a little bit. It would have
been very interesting to see what would have happened if Dom Young was fit for that opener.
He did travel with them though, but I guess Jack Whiten's with South as well, and he's not playing, so spot on the plane there. So they're up against the Broncos. I think the Roosters are a better chance of dethroning Penrith than the Broncos are, because the Broncos, having lost Reece Walsh, Herbie Farnworth, Tom Flegler, Capewell and Keenan Palacia. And you've got Reece Walsh, Ezra Mam, Selwyn Cobber are all going to get better, but that's 4 guys out of your 17 from the grand final when you was 4 minutes away, 4.5 minutes away from beating them. You couldn't get it done. And how are you supposed to improve? I know Penrith have lost Crichton, but they've shown what they can do in losing players.
Crichton's a great player. I worry a little bit about the Broncos. We're just talking about Jared's age and Adam Reynolds another year. And while Cleary was so magnificent in the grand final, Reynolds was in that period the exact opposite and made blunders that he's never seen him make in his entire career, and his body's getting a bit slower now, and I wouldn't have extended him yet. I would have waited till halfway through the year and see how he copes.
Just depends on how much it's costing him too, Buzzy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they've done a deal of life after footy, mate, coaching them.
But that gives them the chance to, for that young guy, Kobe Black, to prove that he's the succession plan. Because if they don't re-sign Adam Reynolds, what do you do? Well, who do you go with? So I don't think... Yeah.
But you're saying 3-horse race, I'd throw Manly in too.
I don't think it's a 3-horse race. I think South have got a lot to prove. Jack Whiten, he didn't have a great year last year, which worries me. But then again, on the end of this back line at Souths, then they could be anything.
Jeez, he's happy. Did you see him at Maroubra Beach the other day with his boogie board? And I'm thinking Maroubra Beach versus Lake Burley Griffin.
Mossman v Hull.
Yeah.
Oh, we would like to issue the following apologies. Hull, Mark Levy, Shane Flanagan, Zac Lomax. Anyone else?
What did I do to Levy and
those who swim at Lake Burley Griffin?
What did I do with that? What did I do to those guys?
Sticky's dirty on you, by the way. You bagged him.
Oh, have you mentioned it to him? Have you?
Of course I did. I passed it straight on. No, I did, if I would. Mate, he will listen.
He will not
Sticky
listen.
reckons he doesn't read papers, doesn't watch TV, but as soon as you write anything remotely negative,
he's very well informed.
Yeah. Must have media monitors.
Ben Polly is sending him stuff.
Imagine that.
Mate, just knock it off with Stick though, please.
Right, sorry, mate.
He's a personal friend of mine.
Right, well, do you want to get into these podcast questions so we can because I want to touch on some trials, but there's some questions in here that do that for us.
I've got to go to in about 10 minutes. So.
Yep.
Ryan wants to know, would the Bulldogs be more dangerous with Burton at 5'8" or centre?
Oh, tough question. Depends who their 5'8" is. Depends. They're going to have to... They've got so many utilities, they're going to work out what their best balance is. Is it Hodkinson? Is it Sexton?
Sexton.
Hutchison or... I can't answer that. I don't know.
To me, it hinges on Stephen Crichton. If you want him, if he's in your centres, then from what I saw last week, Bronson Cherry's shown enough that he will be the other centre, so he's more dangerous at 5'8" for mine. That leaves the question of fullback. Is Blake Taaffe that guy? Is he? Scott Boo Bailey, our resident sport artist, declared yesterday that Taaffe wasn't big enough in the NRL. He would be a great Super League fullback, but is he?
A bit like the old Parramatta fullback. What's his name?
There's Bevan French.
Bevan French, Dufty, Joe Field.
Field.
They've got to figure out what that balance is there. But I liked what Bronson Cherry did last week.
Yeah, no, he played. Yeah, he was good. He played strong.
All right, Jason, do we agree that week 1 trials is more of a measure of the depth you have in your club than anything else? Probably a better guide on how New South Wales Cup will go.
100% correct. I looked at last year's trial results, and teams that winning trials finished 15th, 6th. Trial form is nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing. And
it's good for West Tigers. It's good for Canterbury because they need confidence.
Yeah, and it depends on how your team approaches it, right? Because each club approaches it differently. Some rest all their players, some scatter their players, some, So, I think for mine, it just depends on, how your side approaches it. But regardless, I wouldn't be getting too excited or too despondent either way. Sean, is Ryan Carr still at the Dragons as an assistant coach? He was quite impressive last year. I hope he's still at the club. He is. He's still there for at least another 12 months, Ryan Carr.
I saw him on the Fox coverage. They panned to Flano and Ryan Carr was there with Dean Young.
Yeah.
Good coaching staff.
Yeah.
Knows his stuff. Well respected around the league. So.
Yeah. Ben says, thoughts on the pre-season rule change regarding 10 in the bin / send-offs? Should they be able to swap the player being sent off with one off the bench? I don't think either Andrew Webster or Benji Marshall wanted to play 12 versus 13 in pre-season. It doesn't help anyone at all.
I don't want to replace people's sin bin, do you?
What's the deterrent?
No.
Well, you think there'd be a free-for-all?
Well, you lose an interchange.
If someone does a terrible act of ill-discipline or professional foul...
The deterrent's the suspension.
Not really. Professional foul is not a suspension.
I don't.
So what happens? You've got to penalise the team.
Yeah. I don't mind the 10 in the bin because it still gives you that opportunity, I guess. But a send-off... I'd be quite comfortable if a player was just replaced.
Oh, I totally disagree.
For a trial game. Not an NRL game.
Totally disagree.
For a trial game.
Trial game's a game.
And I think it's changed because of obviously you're playing for something. You're playing for something now, right?
I've tried to help you ever since I signed you. What year did I sign you?
I don't know. It's a while ago.
What
now.
year was it?
I don't remember. It's 8 years ago, I think.
Yeah, you know I signed him. I hired him and signed you. I hired Kenty.
Thoughts?
Hey, thoughts what?
On your purchases?
Well,
any blunders, Buzz?
Thousands. We won't mention them though, Adam, will we?
Nope.
No. Mate, I've seen this bloke grow from a rookie from Canberra Times who was producing their little slide-in insert magazine to my boss.
Yes. There you go.
Great.
That's the power of attrition.
I think it's only 12 months before you went out the door, so maybe there's a sign there.
Well.
Yeah. Next.
Corey, this one's for you, Buzz. Do we think Shane Richardson will stand down as CEO of his company and stay at the Tigers?
Well, I spoke to a very influential...
Whatever his role is.
Interim.
I spoke to a very influential West Tigers person last week and said if he's to take this job on full time, he will have to stop being a player manager and stop, taking the Dally M Winger of the Year female out of his name has escaped me, to the Cowboys. This happened a couple of months ago. Mind you, the kid they say he did bring down from Brisbane, who Benji originally rejected, they tell me he played strong in the trial. So, look, you might have a good play, but you just can't do both jobs.
Yeah. Mobbsy?
You're the only bloke I know who can do treble jobs.
Please.
SEN.
Please.
ABC.
You double dip
Fox
more
Sports,
than anyone that I've ever
Daily
met.
Telegraph.
I just signed off on your one before that was...
Like a new contract?
Yes.
What's your new rort?
Oh, just his new business that...
I have a new business.
No, what's it called?
What's the Buzz Proprietary Limited?
Is it?
Yes. Do you want to buy shares?
No. Go and cheat?
Dinner.
Tell
you what I'm doing, because I'll be away next week and American food can be a little bit calorie high. I'm going to go jungle chicken curry. They're back, baby.
Get out.
I am.
Did not see that coming.
But I'm watching my weight, so I'm going to do brown rice.
You are looking very well.
I'm going to do brown rice.
You've had a good summer. You've had a good summer of getting your walks in. And
Yeah, I'd walk a lot.
Stress-free, Buzzy.
Sorry?
Stress-free.
It's beautiful. Had to come back to this nonsense.
We're having lamb cutlets tonight.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're having lamb. Jeez,
uncrumbed.
Tell
like
me,
Reedy
mint sauce?
throwing in...
Not mint sauce.
You don't do mint, do you?
Tzatziki, mate. Mint sauce.
Spuds?
Nah, I'm not sure what the veg will be. Maybe a roasted eggplant.
You need to get some carbs into it, mate.
It'll be fine. I have enough carbs. I'm fine.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're a friggin' goose.
Mobsy, what are you doing?
Oh,
You are a goose.
You're the one asking the question.
Sauce.
You said mint sauce.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh.
Now you do make me laugh, Mick.
We've got our local Thai joint at Ross Neom in Glenmore Park.
Oh, there's a rort now. He's name
good.
dropped. Do you have a name drop before? What's going on?
No, it's very nice.
Is there a rort?
Pad Key
Do
Mao.
they do a jungle?
Yeah, they do.
Why don't you go one?
Why don't you go one?
Oh,
It's a bit hot.
yeah. Pad Key
the
Mao's
weather.
not the chili, so yeah. Maybe a winter dish.
No, I said, there's no footy on tonight, though, is there?
Nah.
All right, guys, I've got to go to a meeting.
All right, good luck in Vegas. We'll
Enjoy.
we'll be listeting to your podcast from over here.
Vegas.
Yeah, who do you want me to use? Well, just three of us?
Well, you've got suggestions. Do you rate Reed?
Reed will host my podcast. And it's Richie.
You want Bedell?
Bomber Bedell out. Not a chance. He's been naughty, Bedell. I'll tell you about it off here.
Righto. We'll enjoy your footy this weekend. We'll be back on Monday with another episode.
See you, boys.